Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Happy Monday night, everyone. Sports Hounds are live, A2D Radio, A2D Live. Right here from the Real Talk Studios, Runnymede, New Jersey. I'm Rob Brinkman. He's Brad Ryer. Frank Vesby produces the program. Missed anything on the Sports Hounds, check us out, A2D Radio, A2D Live, Facebook, Periscope, Instagram. Stream us, download Junkie, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes. Absolutely everywhere. The Takeover's real at A2D Radio. Don't miss anything. Join the debate. We are the best in the business. We don't use any notes. Brad, we got an interesting night here. We got nothing really on. We got college basketball on here in the studio. Regular season winding down. Flyers just got over their home and home against the Rangers. We got no Sixers tonight. The Combine just happened. It's in the book, so I figured it was a good idea while we're in this kind of lull period to talk about the free agent plans of some of the teams around the league, the quarterback carousel, because all we're going to hear about until mid-March is just speculation and rumors. Then you get the legal tampering period. That brings us to our poll question, brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy. Dr. Paul Vidal, 3 convenient locations. Visit specializedphysicaltherapy.com for more details. Tom Brady will be on the New England Patriots next season. Hashtag agree, hashtag disagree. Let us know what you think in the comments. Brad, this has gotten a little strange here. A lot of stuff happened over the weekend, and the more time goes on, I'm disagreeing with the poll. I think Tom Brady's going to be playing somewhere else. I think that, this is kind of the first opportunity he's had to kind of flirt with other teams, try and get as much money as he can. He's playing considerable discount for the Patriots for the last couple years. I think he's kind of over that. I think there's a lot of a lot of teams there in the NFL that are a Tom Brady away from
just thought of a team besides who we discussed before we came on.
Yes,
the Oakland Raiders.
The Raiders. I mean, yeah.
Wouldn't that be just like them to make a move like that?
Well, I mean, Jameis Winston screams Raiders. Screams Raiders.
He
with
does.
Gruden and just slinging it downfield. Because I mean, all due respect to Tom Brady, at 43 years old, I don't know if he can, how diminished is his arm strength at this point? He can't have a stronger arm than Jameis Winston, who's right in the prime of his career.
How far do you think Brady can throw now? Maybe 40, 45 yards?
Yeah, Winston can launch it.
No, I get that.
No, Tom Brady is
talking about some more free agents. I mean, what about like Phillip Rivers?
Tom Brady's better than Phillip Rivers.
I agree. I'm just mentioning.
I don't know what the Patriots are doing. They're kind of locked in this weird game of chicken, and the tie in a game of chicken, in my opinion, is always going to go to the player, especially when it's the best quarterback of all time.
Here's the thing, Rob, and if you look at New England, and you look at Brady and Brady's situation, with his wife and everything, to me, the logical move for them would be to go to the West Coast.
Go out in L.A.?
Yeah. I mean,
look, the Chargers are one of the most talented teams in the whole league.
I mean, if he went out to L.A. for like maybe a year, 2 years, doesn't have to throw the ball that much.
That's my perfect fit for Tom Brady.
Hand the ball off to Melvin Gordon. I mean,
I don't know if Melvin Gordon's going to be there, but
okay, but
we'll see.
But they like to do the short passing game. I mean, and it's nice and warm.
Keenan Allen.
It's nice and warm. Plus, Giselle can be in Hollywood, which would be a perfect fit for her. I just think that I'm looking at the whole picture, the family thing and everything else.
He's not chasing rings.
No.
I mean, he is from a competitive standpoint.
Well,
but
yeah.
He's not feeling the pressure to go to an immediate contender.
Is his family going to want to go to Indy or Denver? I'm just asking because I
don't know.
I mean, she probably would do anything.
That's
he
an
asks.
Elway thing to do, though, to be in on
Denver, yeah, it
on
certainly
Brady.
is.
I mean, he did it with Manning a few years back, and it really
Well,
worked
he
out
tried.
for him.
He's tried with so many over the hill quarterbacks,
Right.
and the only one it worked with was Manning. I mean, it failed miserably with what's his name
Flacco
from
last year.
Flacco
Yeah, but
last
he's
year.
not. All due respect to Joe Flacco, I mean, I'm not.
He's okay. I mean,
Yeah, but even in his prime,
he was pretty good. He was pretty
mean-
good. Had a good arm.
I mean, of the free agent quarterbacks, look, Winston is Winston. Guy's a disaster. He's just a disaster. He's a car accident.
He's a time bomb.
He's going to throw for 500 yards. He's going to throw you 5 touchdowns, but he's going to give 3 of them touchdowns back with interceptions.
Yeah, that's
Or he's
going to
fumble the ball. I mean,
he had a coach that he had a coach.
Brady.
He had a coach in Tampa Bay that's as good with quarterbacks as you're going to find anywhere.
And Arians
is great
He
with
seems not
quarterbacks.
interested at all in having him back.
Yeah, Arians is great with quarterbacks. I mean, that's the thing. If you can't get your head straight with Arians, I mean, who can you get your head straight with as far as being a quarterback is concerned? You know, I mean, that's the thing. So you're right about that. And you got some interesting little tidbits with the draft. I mean, there's a few quarterbacks in the NFL draft
I get
right
you.
now.
Burrow's going to go number 1.
Burrow is going to go number 1, and from what I understand, AJ Green is going to get the franchised, which tells you right away that Cincinnati is trying to tell Joe Burrow, we're going to take care of you. The only problem with AJ Green is I think he's missed 23 of the last 24 games.
He missed the whole season last year. He only played 9 games the season before that.
Yeah, so he's missed 23 of the last 24 games.
Not good.
The team's, yeah, I mean, that's.
They have some young weapons there. Look, I think the Bengals.
Well, Cincinnati may have had a bad record this last year, but there is talent.
I don't think they were the worst team in the league last year. I know they have the number 1 pick, and that sounds strange.
Yeah.
I think they were 1-15, but I watched them play a bunch of times, and they weren't the worst team in the league.
There is talent on that team.
I mean,
it's not like they were the Browns, you know. There is talent on the team.
You have Pittsburgh and Baltimore at the top of that division, who are just steady franchises. They're never going to have terrible, awful years. And you have the Browns are
Baltimore's going to be
talented, but they're a train wreck.
Baltimore is going to be a train wreck. I mean, excuse me, the Browns are a train wreck.
Yeah.
Baltimore, who knows what's going to happen with Baltimore after the big choke last year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean,
wow.
They're going to have to figure out alternate ways of scoring points other than their quarterback running the ball because most definitely the Titans figured out how to control that.
So
I mean, they just keyed on the quarterback and wouldn't let him kill them.
Well, that brings you to the Titans, who beat the Ravens and almost went to the Super Bowl.
See, the Titans would,
because
I'm thinking about for Brady.
Mike
that
Vrabel seems to have his hooks dug in on Tom Brady. He used to be his teammate. He used to be his coach. So it seems like
they're probably buddies.
Yes,
I wouldn't doubt it.
Well, him and Julian Edelman were at the Syracuse game on Saturday, and they were FaceTiming Mike Vrabel from the front row seats.
Oh, jeez.
Did you see that?
No,
that whole
I didn't.
fiasco?
No.
Oh, wow. That's like the whole reason this is going to get strange. This is getting strange. Jeff Darlington of ESPN goes on the station every day and says Tom Brady is not really going to go bet. It's not likely that he's on the Patriots next year. The only thing that I think that maybe the Patriots could be thinking is you go sign Teddy Bridgewater, which I'm a big fan of Teddy Bridgewater.
Or they're going to make a trade with the Bengals and trade like a third-round pick.
You
for
can't
Andy
go
Dalton.
from Tom Brady to Andy Dalton. You can't do that, can you?
Yeah, they could. At this stage of Brady's career to Dalton, I mean, if Dalton's is in a controlled offense, I mean, listen, Matt. Who was that quarterback that was
Matt Castle?
Matt Castle. Matt Castle was great when he was with New England. Every quarterback that goes there
But the
seems
problem
to
with
play
New England these days is they're not.
They don't have a lot of great
offensively
receivers.
Potent.
Yeah, but
they were good last year because
Rob,
their
team,
defense the first 10 weeks was one of the greatest of all
but
time.
Here's the thing with the draft this year is loaded with receivers.
That's correct.
So I'm sure the Patriots will find a
I think
receiver.
they pick 17th, if I'm not mistaken. The Patriots. You can get a
Who
good
says
player. At
who says
17.
they won't try to who says they won't try to move up? I wouldn't put it past Belichick
Not
to try
at all.
You know, he could end up moving up. I mean,
Not at
some of
all.
these like guy like Jeff Judy. Where do you think he's going to get drafted? 8th or 9th?
Probably the top 10.
Yeah, but he's not going to be in the top 5.
Everyone's on the Henry Ruggs wagon now because he ran a good 40 at the combine. Which I mean,
yeah, but you have to catch the ball too.
he's good.
Judy has really good hand.
I think Ruggs is going to be the first receiver off the board.
But a guy like Judy on New England.
Judy's awesome. I think he's the best receiver in the whole
draft.
draft.
I'm just saying, you know, New England can draft receivers the first 3 rounds and get themselves 3 good receivers that are probably better than what's on their roster right now.
They don't have they have Edelman.
They have Edelman and Sanu. That's it.
Sanu, he's not scaring anybody.
Sanu is not a premier number 1 receiver.
So are you a hashtag agree or hashtag disagree on the poll? Is Tom Brady going to be on the Patriots on opening day next year?
You know what? I still think he is. I have a hard time believing he's not going to.
It would look very strange, but hey, Joe Montana played for the Chiefs.
No, I understand
Peyton Manning played for the Broncos.
Wayne Gretzky played for the Kings.
Jordan played for the Wizards.
Exactly. No, I get Brian Leach played for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
That's right.
Ray Bourque played for the Colorado Avalanche.
That's correct.
Very
rare that a player stays.
No, I totally understand. And, you know, the Montana reference was the best one out of all of them, by the way. I'm complimenting.
Yes. Appreciate it.
But
be here all night. Be here till 9.
Yes. But honestly, that could happen. I don't know who they're going to replace him with. I don't know what they're playing. I mean, they obviously, if he goes,
how can you tell your fan base that you're trying to win a Super Bowl next year if you go from Tom Brady to Andy Dalton, if you go to Tom Brady to Phillip Rivers, if you go to Tom Brady to Nick Foles, who's reported to be on the trading block, you're gonna go from Tom Brady to Marcus Mariota? I don't understand. And
Mariota is an interesting one.
I'm concerned.
Mariota is an interesting one because I think Mariota has some talent. I just don't get it with him. I mean, I know he gets hurt a lot. He
gets hurt a lot, and you know he didn't get benched because he was hurt this year.
No, I know.
Tannehill took his job
because he wasn't playing well.
He wasn't doing well.
Could Tannehill end up on the Patriots?
Maybe.
He's a free agent.
But are you going to pay him if you're the Titans?
Boy. I mean, it's Ryan Tannehill. I'd be a little. I know he played.
Are you going to give him a Nick Foles contract?
You can't give him $20 million a year, can you?
I mean, Nick Foles played the 2 best games of his career
in
the 2 biggest games of his career and got $88 million.
I know, but he won the Super Bowl, though.
I get it, but I mean, I know Ryan Tannehill didn't win the Super Bowl, but AFC title game, not too shabby.
No, that's no. I mean, listen, and he didn't play badly against the Chiefs. Their defense just couldn't stop him after the first quarter. Andy Reid figured it out, and that was
Andy
it.
Reid figured it out, or Patrick Mahomes figured it out?
Well, both of them. You got to give Andy some credit. I mean, Andy's going to win more than one Super Bowl, by the way.
The QB carousel is – I don't remember a year where the QB carousel was this much in flux.
No, I can't remember this many quarterbacks that could change teams. There's a lot this year.
Tons.
There really is.
Let me get to some comments before we try and sift through further. Chrome checks in. Hey, fellas, how about them Flyers? Flyers are playing awesome. We'll get into them at some point, we promise. Can't let Brad off the hook that easy for his Rangers getting their ass kicked in a home and home.
Huh.
Andy
they
Ritter,
have a pretty good excuse. They did lose their starting goalie.
You know how I feel about excuses in sports, Brad.
Yeah, well, I understand that, but if Carter Hart got hurt and you had to play Elliott, I would have been pretty happy to see that.
I bet you would have.
Yeah.
Mike Chrome checks back in. Brady will suit up in Raider, black, and silver. I've thought that from the jump. I'm sure John Gruden would be ecstatic with that.
Yep, I'm sure.
And a great way to kick off your first season in Vegas by.
Yeah, so you got to think they're going to.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I was reading today. I mean, if you have 2 first-round, David Carr not a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
David Carr blows. Like I don't think he's any good. You think he's any good?
David Carr. You mean
No, Derek Carr.
Derek Carr? Okay, yeah. No,
Not any good.
He's lost his
he's lost.
He's
his
lost
edge.
his
Not any
mojo.
good.
Yeah.
They were
He lost his
bottom
edge.
half of the league in points scored last year.
yeah.
I mean,
you had- if
he
you
had
had
all
Brady-
that time with Amari Cooper,
Mm-hmm.
and funny when Dak gets him, all of a sudden he's lighting it up.
But if you have 2 first-round picks like the Raiders have, and you can get Brady,
Yeah.
and then you don't have to use any of those 2 first-round picks on a quarterback, that's how you make the playoffs next year.
Yeah, well, the Raiders probably draft late enough that they probably won't have a chance to get one of those quarterbacks.
I don't
Yeah,
see
but
them
you
getting
can-
a quarterback.
can
Or
move-
the
can
Raiders,
move.
or the Raiders could get Brady and then draft Tua, let him sit for a year, and then play him the following year.
I think someone's going to draft Tua way too high.
Yeah, well,
Way too high.
Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit, you think?
And there's the rumors with Washington
You think Detroit
meeting with Tua.
Detroit's going to not draft Chase Young?
Well, there's the rumor going around that the Redskins are looking at Tua at number 2, which
Wait,
I'm gonna
wait a minute. After they drafted Haskins last year,
apparently.
I mean, they don't have a franchise quarterback. So
Yeah.
if they
yeah,
like
but you don't know if you're going to have a
Right.
franchise. You're going to tell me you have a franchise quarterback or not after 8 games? You got to let the guy play.
Yeah, you gotta let him play it out. And- But
That's not-
but
I mean, come
apparently,
on.
from what I was reading, I don't know if any of the sources were valid or not. But it's 2020 in the age of social media. Apparently, they want to have Tua and Haskins duke it out to be the next franchise quarterback for Washington.
Well, I mean, I'm not the biggest
So
Tua.
you're going to waste 2 first-round picks,
Right, exactly.
for one quarterback, and suppose both of them aren't good.
Right.
Oh boy,
Well, they stink. They're the Redskins.
yeah, I know. I understand that they make the Giants look intelligent doing that. That's
The
just-
Giants at least
Giants at least have
they have
I think have-
somewhat of an infrastructure to at least
it seems like the
attempt
Giants
to make smart decisions.
Right.
At least
The Redskins
it's-
are just lost.
It seems like the Giants, like the Giants, at least they know we think Daniel Jones is a pretty good prospect, and we should continue to let him play. And at least they're going to do that.
Well,
They're
Mike
not gonna-
Florio was barking his mouth saying that Brady
Giants
could
are not
go to the
going-
Giants.
he's
What do you
not
say
going-
about that?
He's not going to the Giants.
How do you know?
There's no way the Giants are going to try to get Tom with that offensive line. Brady would get killed. Come on.
I mean, you got the 4th pick. Why don't you get a lineman there?
Well, they just might, or they're going to trade down and try to get some more picks. Listen, if the Giants aren't drafting it, the Giants are not going to draft a quarterback. I would try to fleece somebody and get an extra first rounder.
Well, you got to hope that there's still a quarterback on the board at number 4.
Well, you know what though? If there's not a quarterback and Chase Young is available, then go draft him.
Be a good pick. He's a freak.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants don't have to make a trade until draft day, which is probably when it's going to happen. If they do in fact move down,
And then you got
they'll
Okuda.
do it on draft day.
You got
Because
Okuda and Simmons too, who I like. A
yeah,
lot.
I mean, listen,
Corner from Ohio State and the linebacker.
if
from
they could get
Clemson.
Young, I think they will draft Young if he's available. If he's not, I think they will trade down and try to get maybe maybe a first at 8 or something and one at I don't know. Whoever has 2 first round picks this year,
the Raiders, the Dolphins,
would they want to move up to the 4?
maybe the Dolphins.
The Dolphins might. They might, because if there's a quarterback available, they might do that. And if Young's already off the board, the Giants would be foolish not to do that. Maybe they could get 2 first round picks for the 4 to move up 1. Look what San Francisco got for Trubisky.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, that's what I would do if I were the Giants. One first round pick is not going to improve the team that much. 2 first round picks might though. And then you got another $85 million, it looks like, because they cut the guys I told you they were going to cut last show.
Yeah.
They cut the linebacker.
I mean, the Giants
I
have
mean,
the best pick in
They
the draft.
cut Ogletree. They cut Kareem what the hell? Kareem McKenzie? No,
What position?
the safety. Kareem, what the fuck is his last name?
I don't know.
Kareem McKenzie was a offensive lineman for the Bills for O.J. Simpson. What the heck was Kareem's last name? You guys know who I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah.
Somebody who was making a lot of money and was absolutely pathetic last season. He's going to be they cut him too.
Kareem Martin.
Yes, thank you. That's the one. And he's gone too. So they went from like 65 million now to like 85, 86 million, something like that now. I mean, if they had 2 first-round picks and $86 million, how are they going to screw that up? Well, they could. They're the Giants, but it would take an awful lot to do that.
And then speaking of the NFC East, you got Dallas down there with Dak Prescott.
Yeah, well, also you have to look at their cornerback too,
Byron Jones.
Byron Jones. I mean, they got to keep him. You can't not have Byron Jones. That's just plain stupid.
I don't know if they're going to be giving Dak Prescott a multi-year deal this offseason.
I think they're going to.
Sure doesn't sound like
I think they're going to end up franchising him
and give him a 1-year tryout with McCarthy.
Yep, I think
that doesn't sound good at all.
Well, I think they're gonna. I think that they're gonna
Mike
franchise
McCarthy.
him.
I saw today that Mike McCarthy was the coach for the whole week, and it took him a whole week to reach out to the supposed franchise quarterback and Dak Prescott. Didn't call him to say what's up. Didn't call him to talk about what kind of plays, what his expectations are as him as a leader.
I don't know. I mean, who knows? Who knows
fishy
about that? Yeah, but I think they're going to franchise him.
I don't know what they're doing down there.
If
they
they franchise him, they'll only have to pay about $25 million for him this year. They won't have to worry about having to pay him $40 million. He'll have to come in for a paltry $25 million, and but then it leaves.
It doesn't sound like Mike McCarthy sold on him at all.
He may not be. I mean, I don't know. I can't read Mike McCarthy's mind. I will say this though. They're either going to lose Amari Cooper or they're going to lose Byron Jones.
I wouldn't sign Amari Cooper at all. At all.
But do you agree they can't sign Prescott and both those guys?
No, you're going to lose someone.
One of them has to go.
Yeah. No, they're going to lose someone. It looks like the money they're talking about for these corners. There's a lot of good ones out there. Logan Ryan's going to be out there. Byron Jones is going to be out there, and James Bradbury for the Panthers is going to be really good, kind of an unsung guy. These guys are going to get over $15 million a year.
And then you get some veterans who could probably help, like Jack Rabbit and our friend, Odell Beckham's buddy in Washington.
Josh Norman.
No,
I'm out on Josh Norman.
No, I'm just saying that he's going to be out there. He won't get a lot of money, but he'd be a nice second or a nickel back, somebody, a nice depth piece for a good
All
team.
Right, so let's get back to these quarterbacks. And Greg checks in. What's up, fellas? Agree to the poll, or at least I won't believe it until I see it actually happen. So Dak's going to be in Dallas. Where's Brady going to be? I'm saying San Diego. The Chargers.
I think he stays in New England.
You think he stays in New England? Where's Teddy Bridgewater play?
Teddy Bridgewater. I think Teddy Bridgewater stays in New Orleans. One more year.
One more year.
Drew Brees takes his shot to win one more Super Bowl. I think after this year, Drew Brees is going to say goodbye.
It seems like they like Taysom Hill better than Teddy Bridgewater now.
Well, if that's the case, if they don't sign him, Teddy Bridgewater could be a Colt. He could be a Titan.
That'd be awesome. If Teddy Bridgewater was a Colt, that's the best case scenario.
Yeah, or a Titan. I could see him being.
That would be good too.
Yeah, I mean,
one of those teams.
Yeah, one of those teams that are good but could use a quarterback who has a high ceiling.
I want to see Brady on the Chargers. I want to see a winner.
I think that would be. I would think.
I want to see a winner.
See, I would think that would be the most logical place for him to go, just based on his family situation.
I mean, I like Phillip Rivers as much as the next guy. He's a gunslinger and he's fun to watch play, but he's never won a damn thing in his life.
Yeah, and he wasn't good last year. He showed his age. I mean, there are some guys that when it's time to go, it's time to go. Eli didn't decide to come back this season. I think the same.
So you think Phillip Rivers should retire?
Yeah, I think he should. Go out before you end up getting hurt. You're not doing your reputation any good. You're just not good anymore.
I mean, he's got like 11 kids. He needs more money, I guess.
Oh, he's got a ton of money. That last contract that he had with San Diego was for what, $80 million?
Yeah, can never have enough though.
$80 million.
Do you think Phillip Rivers is going to get a chance to start somewhere next year?
No.
No?
Where's he going to start?
I don't know. Tampa, Miami, Jackson. I mean, Jacksonville seems like they want Gardner Minshew to be their starter.
New England?
I think New England's going to need a starter.
If Brady leaves. I mean, that would be pretty wild if Brady ended up in Los Angeles with the Chargers and Rivers ended up with the Patriots. That could happen.
I mean, if it's going to get laid out the way we just said it, the way I said it, you think Brady's just going to stay there. And maybe that's going to happen. I don't know.
I do, but if Brady does leave, I think he's going to end up with the Chargers. Just because of Giselle. If not anything else. I mean, why if you're Tom Brady, okay, and you have a family and you want to leave New England and you have a supermodel wife who would make even more money being in Hollywood all the time than New England, why wouldn't you want to go there? Plus the weather's always nice.
So then if it's not Tom Brady, who's going to quarterback the Patriots?
Maybe you're not wrong, and maybe Rivers is the guy to quarterback there. Maybe Bridgewater. I mean,
who would you rather have, Andy Dalton or Phillip Rivers?
Phillip Rivers.
Would you rather have Andy Dalton or Derek Carr?
Andy Dalton.
I don't disagree with that at all. So you think
at least Andy Dalton?
So if he goes,
Andy Dalton has in fact gotten to the playoffs quite a few times.
He has. So has Phillip Rivers.
Well, Carr has never done shit.
Yeah, I'm not a Carr guy at all.
Yeah, Carr is not impressive.
I think
Carr is soft.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
that's why I think that's where Jameis is going to go. Jameis is going to go to the Raiders.
Yeah, but they'll get a lot of touchdowns too, though.
He will. I don't know. 30 picks last year. I mean, if he throws 20 picks, I mean, the Bucs probably win a couple extra games.
How many touchdowns and passes did he throw last year?
A lot.
How many were to Mike Evans, though?
I mean, they have Godwin now, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it didn't hurt to have Mike Evans, right?
No.
I mean, nobody can cover Mike Evans. That's.
He threw 33 touchdowns.
Yeah, and how many touchdowns did Evans have? Guarantee he probably had like 10, 12. Something. Had to be something like that. Mike Evans was a beast last year.
I mean, doesn't seem like Arians is interested in having Winston on his team.
Where is Tampa Bay drafting right now?
They're in the middle. Well, maybe they trade for Foles. Foles with Arians.
Well, yeah.
Maybe the Colts trade for Foles.
See,
Nick Foles should be a starting quarterback in this league.
Yeah, I agree.
He's not as good as Carson Wentz. And the Eagles made the right decision.
Jacksonville just doesn't have weapons for him.
I mean, the Colts would have weapons.
The Colts have a lot of weapons.
The Broncos would have
some
amount of weapons.
Yes, I agree with you on that.
Not the best, but certainly not the worst. I mean, talk about receiver tandems. I mean, Tampa probably has the best one in the league.
Oh, they have great receivers. That was my point about Winston. That's why he had so many touchdowns. You put him with a team that doesn't have a lot of good receivers on it, though.
Like the Raiders?
He'll throw 30 interceptions.
Like how much money
he might throw 40 interceptions with those receivers.
How many? Yeah, but how much? Yeah, but it's the same thing. They're going to have 2 first-round picks, and they're going to pick. Crone thinks that Brady's going to go to the Raiders.
Well, I was saying that too.
The Raiders aren't going to have Derek Carr as their starting quarterback. I'd be shocked if Derek Carr was the. I got to train my brain to say Las Vegas Raiders now.
Yeah,
the Las Vegas Raiders will not have Derek Carr starting at all.
Giselle could go to Vegas and
be a good fit in Giselle in Vegas.
Yeah, she'd be a good fit in Vegas. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of shows and stuff. She'd be fine in Vegas. She'd be better in Hollywood, I think. But either way, I do think that he's going to consider that. I think superstar athletes do tend to listen to their wives.
So, if you're going to rank the available quarterbacks, is Tom Brady the best one?
At this stage of his career?
Yes.
I think Tannehill's probably the best one.
Tannehill?
Yeah.
So then you think the Titans would be foolish to get rid of Tannehill and sign Brady?
Not for 1 year. Not for 1 year.
How
but
many
if
years
you're-
can Tom Brady realistically sign for? 3 at the most?
Oh, you can't expect
the
to be
most.
a quarterback at 46.
I'm just saying.
The problem with Brady is if you sign Brady, it's a 1 or 2 year deal. You're trying to win right now this year. If you sign
You're getting a guy to groom either this year or next year to play behind Brady.
Yeah, if you sign Tannehill, okay, Tannehill's ready to go. Tannehill showed big time improvement last year.
Okay.
And you don't have to worry about, well, in a couple of years he's gonna retire because he's too old.
So you think the Patriots will get better if they ditch Brady?
If they got
for Tannehill?
Tannehill? Yeah, I think they would. At this point.
Really?
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
So it sounds like
give
it's
Tannehill.
not even smart, according to you, that Brady
I just think that he'll
Patriots
stay.
sign Brady.
I think they'll keep him though. I can't imagine. I can't imagine him leave. I can't imagine them.
Belichick's
going
to be stubborn, and he's not going to want to pay him.
Well, you know what? Brady has sacrificed a lot of money over the years.
And I think he's done with that.
Yeah, I think if somebody offers him 2 years, $60 million, which is what he should get, I think that's where he's going. The only reason I think people talk about the Giants is because the Giants have the cap space to do it, but the Giants are not going to do that. I mean, I know you didn't see Daniel Jones play every week, but do you think that he was that bad that you should give up on him?
No, you can't stop anybody.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, I thought Danny Jones was pretty darn good last year.
Saquon was hurt,
and they still, he still played well though.
and they didn't stop anybody.
No, and you know what? Part of the problem is, when you don't stop anybody, then you can't try to run the ball. You always have to throw. And you know what? He moved around a lot. He got a lot of yardage with his legs too. I mean, Daniel Jones was not the problem with the Giants last year. Daniel Jones, I thought he was one of the bright spots. Between him and Slayton, I thought they both did a nice job.
What are they going to do?
Defense.
Are they done? What are they doing with Golden Tate? Are they going to keep him around, or are they going to cut him?
They haven't cut him yet.
I know
that that's a controversy right now.
Yes.
They're trying to figure out whether they should keep him or not because he was pretty good last year for them.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of those comfort type of receivers. When Daniel Jones needed to find a receiver, just a safety valve receiver to throw the ball to, it always seemed like Golden Tate was the guy. So the real question for the Giants is
I would want him back in Philadelphia. Run the slot?
Do they keep?
Wouldn't be a bad pickup at all.
Do they keep their cornerback Evan Ingram? That's the interesting one.
Tight end, you mean?
Yeah. That's the question.
I don't know if he's worth a big payday. He's hurt an awful lot.
That's my whole point. They're talking about that they might cut him,
and he's really one-dimensional.
Well, he's a great receiver, but you can make him a receiver because he's fast enough. I mean, he ran a 4.3 40, something like that. When he got drafted, I mean, he can still fly, and he can catch the ball. But as a tight end, he's a terrible blocker.
Okay, now that brings us to the Giants, because the Giants, I think, do have a franchise quarterback in Daniel Jones. They're picking 4th in the draft.
I think they got the best place to draft now.
I think they have the best pick in the draft.
Exactly.
What would you do if you're Dave Gettleman, you're sitting there at 4?
I wait until the very last minute before I make a decision about whether or not to trade down. If Chase Young is not picked in the first 3 rounds, then I'm picking Chase Young because he's a beast and he will be great for the Giants. That's if all the quarterbacks are taken. If the quarterbacks are not all taken and the Miami Dolphins insist, if say the Redskins go and they get Chase Young, or Detroit picks Chase Young, okay?
Chase Young to the Redskins just makes too much sense to not happen.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's might be why the Redskins won't do it.
Well, the Redskins are pretty stupid. But here's the thing. If the Giants have the pick, they can trade it to Miami. Miami has the 5th pick, correct?
Yeah.
The Giants move down, and the Giants let them move up one, and then the Giants get 2 of their picks.
And then you got the Chargers at 6 as well.
Who could
logic would tell you that
they could jump over Miami and draft a quarterback. So the Giants are sitting pretty.
And
That's
we
why
just talked about how Vegas. I don't think they're going to be. They're going to have Derek Carr next year. They might want to hop up. They're a team that has 2 first-round picks.
Exactly. But,
Miami has 3 first-round picks.
But I would want to deal with Miami because if you're only going down 1 pick, that's perfect. You see, the thing with the Giants is what they could do is they could take 2 picks from Miami, and then they could trade the 5th pick to who's the team that was
Chargers?
The Chargers. Let them get a quarterback, and then they can go down to 6. You know, I mean, they could do that and get even more picks. I mean, they're in a position where if they don't get the guy, if the guy they really want isn't there at 4, they could trade the pick.
Right.
But you have to see what happens first in front of you. You know Burrow is going to Cincinnati, but what you don't know is what happens between Detroit and who's the team that's picking second again? The Redskins.
The Redskins.
You don't know what they're doing. If they're both going quarterback hunting, that means there's only one quarterback left. I guess Herbert, right?
Yes.
So I mean, does any team want to trade up for him? Is he really worth trading up for?
I think he's better than Tua.
Okay, but Tua is the one that's left. Do you think one of these teams are going to be that
Yeah,
anxious to
I
get
do
him?
because of what Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray are doing right now with these dual threat things. So yeah, I think the Giants can really do really well for themselves.
If Tua's available, then you can trade down one with
Like,
Miami.
I don't think the first 3 picks in the draft are going to be quarterbacks unless there's trades.
Yeah, I would tend to agree, and again that's what I'm saying. If you're the Giants, you don't want to do anything until it's your turn to draft.
I don't know what Detroit's going to do. They're
a strange
They're a little
team.
special sometimes.
Yeah, they're a strange
But,
team.
I mean, you got to think Patricia is looking at Simmons and Okuda and licking his chops, being a defensive guy.
Exactly.
Giants
or
never
Young,
really-
if Young is available.
That too.
You know, that's what I'm saying. I don't know who the Giants really want to pick. I mean, I've heard rumors about an offensive lineman. I've heard that guy Simmons. I've heard a lot of different things. I know the guy that they really want is obviously Young, but I don't know if he's going to be available. But as I said, if I'm the Giants, I wait till draft day. I wait till it's my turn to pick and see
you
who's
think you
up
guys
there.
are going to be in on Ngakoue from the Jaguars?
Yes, I think they're going to probably end up signing.
He's
going to
get tagged. He's going to get tagged, though.
Yeah, he could.
They said today they're going to tag him.
Well, then they won't get him then.
So you wouldn't trade a couple of picks to get him?
No.
So then you like the Golston guy from, or is it Barrett?
I like Martin Golston, the one that we had last year.
He's good. He should
He's
stay.
good. We could keep him. There's always
a lot of money the Giants have.
Yeah, I know that.
They might make the playoffs next year.
Well, they have to make the playoffs next year. Gettleman's gone.
Okay, but
Gettleman has to make the playoffs next year.
It's lining up well for him. You get the best pick in the whole draft. You got Barkley, who's going to be healthy. You got Daniel Jones, who's good. They got plenty of playmakers.
Yeah, and they have a lot of draft picks. They have a lot of picks.
I saw today they don't even have a third-round pick.
No, they do have a third-round pick at the end of the draft.
So they're going to be getting some compensatory picks,
right?
Which have not been.
Yeah, they have a compensatory
pick
in the third round. If they don't, if they lose, what's his name? The idiot that they signed from the Jets, which that was the
Leonard Williams.
Leonard Williams. If they don't re-sign him,
they're not going to pay him, are they?
Not if he wants $100 million. They're not going to pay him.
$100 million?
He wants $100 million.
For doing what?
I don't know. For almost getting to the quarterback.
For almost getting to the
yes,
quarterback.
for almost
That's
getting
awesome.
to the quarterback. Yes.
Well, I mean,
yes, because he leads the league in pressures, but he never gets there. So what's the point?
Oh my God, that's just such another like fake news stat.
It's a fake stat. Yeah, it's a fake stat.
Just an analytic dorkazoid stat that some jabron Leonard Williams thinks he's going to get $100 million because he led the league.
He's not gonna
get there.
He's not gonna get the money he wants. Not from the Giants. The Giants are not gonna do that. I mean, to me, if I'm the Giants, I'm going for the best defensive players. They're out. I'm drafting defense. Excuse me. I'm going to draft. I'm going to try to draft with my first round pick. I'm going to try to draft defense. If one of the top defensive players isn't out there, then I'll move down and get myself an offensive lineman, and then I'll spend all my money on my defense.
Are the expectations in New York to make the playoffs next year for the Giants?
Yeah, we think there's no excuse.
No excuse.
No excuse.
And
No
how's the new
excuse.
coach going over?
Who knows? I mean,
Well, do people like him?
yes,
is he
they do.
being smart or is he being a dope?
so far everybody seems
So
to
far,
like him.
so good. There you go.
Yeah, so
And
far
I
so
do
good,
think
but
I
they
know
haven't played a game yet.
I know Jason Garrett is like the butt of the joke in the NFC East circles, but I think that was a pretty good hire
Yeah,
for
but
an
for an offensive lineman, he's
for
fine.
an offensive coordinator.
It's like
sure.
that's like what's his name? Wade
Phillips.
Wade Phillips. I mean, everybody makes jokes about Wade Phillips. Let him be a defensive coordinator and not a coach, or you really get
North Turner as well.
North Turner's a good offensive coordinator. They just aren't coaches. I think Jason Garrett would be a very good offensive coordinator. I wouldn't want him as my coach, but I mean, a lot of people also I remember when Pete Carroll was a defensive coordinator, nobody thought that he would be a good head coach because he was too
Right.
much of a rah-rah guy.
Well, I mean, this is like his third chance with the Seahawks, so he had some rocky times before he learned how to get it done.
He didn't have a rocky time in New England. He got them to the playoffs twice.
I mean, he got fired.
I know, but they're very demanding up there. He got fired because they wanted Parcells.
I guess he didn't do that good with the Jets, though, by my recollection.
No, he did terrible with the Jets, but he did very well with New England. But they fired him because he had one bad season and Bill Parcells was available. That's why if Bill Parcells wasn't available, there's no way Pete would have been fired up in New England.
Do you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yeah.
Did you see the new episode last night?
I didn't know that they had new episodes.
Season 10 started a couple weeks ago. I think there's been 4 or 5.
I was unaware of that. I'm gonna have to.
They've all been terrible, but last night's was really good. There was a lot of sports.
Oh, okay.
A lot of sports references. He was at his golf club getting into a whole bunch of trouble.
He gets in trouble.
They
every week.
they really railed on the Jets as well. Railed on because he likes the Jets. Larry David.
Oh, does he?
I think so.
I thought he was a Giant fan. Okay. I know he goes to a lot of Knicks games.
Yes. He likes the Knicks.
Yeah, and he sits there, and every time they show him, he's got this face, just like.
Well, I mean, what kind of face are you supposed to make when you like the fucking Knicks?
Well, yeah, we all have that face.
Well, they just got a new president today.
He's been discussed as the president for a while.
I'm just saying, maybe it's a greener pastures.
Leon is going to be at the game. Leon Rose is going to be at the game tonight.
Well,
yeah,
it's a perfect job.
He's gonna
you get a high-profile franchise that you can't make it any worse.
No, you really can't, and he's gonna get a taste of just how painful it is to be a Knicks fan because they're playing Houston tonight.
Well, I mean, he used to be an agent, so maybe he can.
They're trying the Brody Van Wagenen thing over there, and it's not going to work there, just like it's not working with the Mets. Brody Van Wagenen
I like the Nets.
is a horrible general manager. The only reason the Mets have players is because Sandy Alderson drafted a lot of real good players, and last year they had no choice but to bring them up and let them play.
Yeah, I mean they look good. I like the Mets this year.
Yeah, I do too. But none of those guys were brought in by by Brody.
No.
They were all Sandy Alderson's players. Yes. So I mean,
it's all right.
Yeah, no, I'm just making a point.
I know.
Though.
Well, let's finish up our football.
Yes.
Covered the Giants. Let's get to the Eagles. The Eagles picking 21st in the draft. I mean, the Eagles are fortunate enough to make the playoffs last year.
The Eagles need to address their secondary.
They do.
Let's be honest.
Now, do you think that secondary is more important to address than receiver for this football team?
What would you rather do? Would you rather address your receiver issue through free agency, or would you rather address your receiver issue through the draft?
I mean, both. Both and both.
Okay.
All of the above.
You can draft in rounds 3.
Look.
Listen, in rounds 3 and 4, you can. There's so many good receivers. You can go down 3 and 4.
I don't think you
get
can,
receivers.
Look.
This is a very deep draft.
I know. I know.
It's a very deep
It's
draft.
a deep draft. They all look deep, and they all look great when they're all running around their underwear at the combine.
Yeah, no, I know
I
that.
get it. Look, I mean, you have Carson Wentz in his prime.
Yes.
You cannot allow what happened last year at the receiver position to ever happen again. So you got to load up at receiver.
How much money are you under the cap? You're
50,
like 40, 50 million
50.
under the cap. Yeah. So go sign some couple of receivers.
Yeah, I want to sign Robbie Anderson. I want to sign a corner, and I want to draft a receiver. And
Do
I want to draft
you
a
think
corner.
the Jets aren't going to pay him?
Who knows what the Jets are going to do?
I think they're going to pay him. They get to have weapons for Darnold. I mean, I would think that the Jets would be wanting to keep him.
The Jets scream Amari Cooper to me.
Actually, Amari Cooper, I was kind of thinking of him for the Giants, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
You think you guys need playmakers?
Wouldn't hurt. I think if you get rid of Evan Ingram and you bring in a good blocking tight end.
That just doesn't make any sense to me. That just seems like.
Well, you want Daniel Jones to have a game breaker at the receiver
Is Amari
position?
Cooper a game breaker?
He's pretty good.
Is Amari Cooper a top 10 receiver in the league?
How much money is he going to want?
A lot. He's going to want to make
Define-
top 10 money.
Define a lot.
He was probably going to get some jabron team is going to pay him top 10 money.
Okay, but define how much top 10. Define how much money that is.
Look,
12, 13 million?
yeah.
I'd pay that for him.
Well, you can have him at 12, 13 million.
Yeah, as long as it's not 17, 18.
That's what these corners are going to get, and that's what scares me about.
Well, yeah, but these corners are really good. I wouldn't mind the Giants getting a corner either. I think it would be nice to see them get one really good corner for all the kids to be able to
So you want a veteran
to help the kids. Yeah,
You'd rather have a veteran corner than Okuda at the top of the draft?
yeah, I would, because I think that they've got enough young kids.
Well, I think that
I think it would be a good thing to have a guy who's a leader who could help all these, because they've got a lot of young players out there who I think have done a hell of a who did a hell of a job last year in the second half of the season. They're some of their corners and their safeties. I thought they played
I like
well.
Julian Love, and I like
Kareem McKenzie, that was the guy's name. No, it was Kareem Martin. You're right.
Kareem Martin.
Yeah, Kareem Martin. Right.
Who's the other guy? Oh, Baker. I think those are two good
DeAndre
receivers
Baker
for
played.
the-
Oh, not DeAndre Baker. I'm thinking of the Giants. The receive. I mean,
corner.
yeah, corner. I mean, if I'm the Giants, I would want a veteran corner. I want a veteran corner, and then I want pass rushers.
I think the Eagles need a pass rusher too. The Eagles have a lot of needs.
Yeah, they really need a receiver, and they could
need
use a
couple
backup. And they could use a backup running back, a speedy one.
Yeah, but I mean, who are you gonna? I'd rather do that later on in the draft.
Well, you can get one at like 5 or 6. Get
Yeah.
a speedy little guy.
Yeah, like Anthony McFarland out of Maryland.
That's
Favorite running back in the whole draft.
Yeah,
Little
you don't
fourth
have.
round pick there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That a quick guy to the outside that can just change it up once in a while.
But I don't see how you can justify taking anything other than a receiver in the first round of the draft.
Oh, if you're the Eagles,
That's correct.
I would think you should try to get the best receiver available.
And I'm against moving up because the Eagles have so many needs. They just have so many needs. I know, like, they made the playoffs last year and they rode the ship well. They won 4 games in the road, but the Eagles were extremely lucky to make the playoffs. They were extremely lucky the way the schedule fell, and they were extremely lucky that the Cowboys are a bunch of bags and just rolled over and quit for them in Week 16. So a lot of things fell their way for that run to come together. I don't think it was that good of a season last year. I refuse.
No, I don't think they were that good last year.
I refuse to watch
mentioned
All or
it
Nothing.
several times.
I refuse to watch that show.
Year.
Frank, what is it? All or Nothing on Amazon?
Yeah.
Haven't seen it. Will not see it. Don't want to relive a second of last year's football season because the majority of it made me absolutely sick to my stomach. That's how flawed I think this team is heading into the offseason.
Todd Womack has a question, by the way.
Yes.
How much will AJ cost against the cap?
Well, AJ Green
is it AJ Green? Is he talking AJ Green or AJ or Alshon Jeffrey?
I was thinking Alshon Jeffrey
yeah,
because he did
that's
say
how
cost against the cap. From what I am looking at, his cap is
hate
around.
Alshon
It's a weird contract, but if we trade Alshon Jeffrey, he'll save us a nice, wonderful $500,000.
Good. Great.
That's not enough.
But if we cut him, it'll give us $10 million in dead cap.
I don't care. I don't want Alshon Jeffrey anywhere near my football locker room next year.
I would absolutely
Great. You can have
trade
him. He stinks.
Trade him for like a 4th-round pick.
He's not even worth that.
Somebody would take
First
him for
off, he's
that.
hurt. It doesn't even look like he's going to be ready for the season.
Oh, geez. Well, if it's that bad.
I just put him on the pup list and tell him to go home, collect his money, get him out. I don't want him anywhere near my team.
That might happen, unfortunately.
I'd rather Amari Cooper not be on the Eagles either because I don't want to pay him at all because I think he's just
as I said, Rob, it depends
a
on how
hollow
much money.
receiver.
It depends how much money he
Look
wants.
at all his big games. They're all of his big games are when the Cowboys are down big.
Yeah,
And they make a run. It's all garbage time.
You're not wrong.
It's a joke. I mean, it's 4th and 8 with 3 minutes to go, Week 16 against the Eagles. The guy checks himself out. You wanted out the game. I don't want to hear about Amari Cooper. Some team's going to make a big mistake on Amari Cooper, paying him
What about Emmanuel
10
Sanders?
plus a year. I like Emmanuel Sanders.
I mean, he's going to be a free agent. Nobody's. I mean, they're not.
No one's really talking about.
Okay, so it's the Jags corner, AJ. So I think he's going with AJ Bouye.
Oh,
AJ
okay.
Bouye. Well, he got cut.
Yeah,
Didn't he
cut.
get cut?
Or
they were thinking about cutting him.
I haven't heard anything. I know that they were.
I thought they were thinking about cutting him.
Yeah, if released, it's rumored that he might get released.
I mean, sure, bring him in.
Let me take a look real quick.
He signed
Let me pull up the spot track.
He signed a monster contract with the Jags and clearly hasn't lived up to expectations. If you can grab him at a reasonable, sure.
I mean, he's got some gas left in the tank. I
guess.
I would make a move for him.
A guy like Randall Cobb, he's another one.
No,
he's only 30. I know he seems like he's been around forever, but
he has been around forever. That's
Devin Funchess from the Colts. I mean, he's available. Nelson Aguilar is still on your team. Demaryius Thomas.
No,
too old. He's 32, so that probably wouldn't make sense. But I mean, out of the top 100, there's really not a lot of free agent receivers that are good that are out there right now.
You got to get one of them.
Well, they're really.
I want Robbie Anderson.
Other than Amari Cooper, I mean, and Robbie Anderson, they're the two best ones out there right now. Now, listen, that could change. That could change if some guys get cut. Which, when's the tampering period start?
It's usually, I think it was like March 11th last year.
When is the official end of the year where you could start cutting guys and get extra cap money?
March 1st, I thought.
So that was Saturday. So
right.
There still could be more guys getting cut.
Okay, Todd, to answer your question for Mr. Bouye, if he is traded, it'll be a cap hit for the Jags around $4 million. And then if you decide to cut him,
they stink. They don't make
$4 million.
They don't make any good decisions ever down there.
You got to keep him.
They really don't. What are they doing? They're letting Ngakoue get away. They're letting all these guys get away. I'm so happy I'm not a Jags fan. They have to play in London all the time. Like they blow. I hope Nick Foles gets traded out of there.
You might get your wish there.
Go with Gardner Minshew. And then in terms of the Eagles, look at all these needs that the Eagles have. I mean, I've never seen a playoff team have this many needs in my entire life. Like, Dallas is going to be better next year. The Giants are going to be better next year. I don't know how good the Redskins are. I think they're just so bereft of talent that they just have no chance. But, I mean, Ron Rivera is a much better coach than Jay Gruden and Bill Callahan. Bob Brinkman, Eagles sign OG free agent to start on the left side, draft a wide receiver number 1 pick, then go get another safety and linebacker in the second and third rounds.
I mean, there's really, as far as the receivers go, There's really nobody out there.
besides a Mark. I mean,
Unless you want to get, but you guys have great tight ends, so there's no reason to try to get a tight end.
no.
But I mean, as far as defensive players after the quarterbacks, I mean, there's some real Byron Jones.
I think Howie's going to step up.
And Ngakwe from Jacksonville if they don't pay him.
They're not paying. He's no interest in playing there.
Okay.
He's told them you can do whatever you want. He's not playing for the
Shaq
Jaguars.
Barrett from Tampa Bay, and then you got Armstead from San Francisco. I mean, there's some pretty decent.
They also have no linebackers on the team at all. They have Cruz Hill, who ended his season last year with back surgery. Never good.
There are a lot of
Nate Jerry is.
Matthew
Nate
Judon?
Jerry's Nate Jerry.
What about Matthew Judon from the Colts? I mean, from the Ravens. I'm sorry. That's a nice player. I mean, between Shaq Barrett and those are two good players.
You really got to make a splash. We got to get one of these corners. Logan Ryan's a free agent, isn't he?
There are a lot of good corners available now.
You might even have to sign two of them.
I mean, you got.
'Cause I don't think they're bringing back Mills. I don't know if I would bring back Mills.
I mean, they're linebackers. They're loaded with linebackers. Dante Fowler from the Rams, Bud Dupree from Pittsburgh, Judon from Baltimore.
Bob Brakeman, they need linebackers bad.
Yeah, that's you've got three of the top 20 are right there.
For linebackers?
Yeah, and then corners, James Bradbury and Chris Harris. They're not bad either. I mean,
I like Bradbury a lot. That's who I would go after. I think he's really good.
Littleton is a Rams inside linebacker. He's only 26.
He's good.
Yeah. I mean, there are guys for them to get. Ha Clinton Dix is available. He's only 27. I mean, there's some guys out there that there's definitely
that would help a lot. If you keep Malcolm, which I think you're kind of boxed in to do, because I don't think you're gonna have 4 new starters in the secondary next year. I think you're gonna have 3 new starters if you're the Eagles. I think both the corners are gonna be new, and I think McLeod's gonna be out of here. I don't think you have a choice.
What about running back? I mean, you don't necessarily have to pick up.
You ain't draft a running back because Miles Sanders is a beast.
Oh, what about like bringing in Kenyon Drake or Melvin Gordon?
I mean, I don't see how the no,
Kenyon Drake.
I don't see how Arizona lets Kenyon Drake get away after they traded for him and he killed it for him.
That's true. Logan Ryan is available, as you said.
I like him a lot.
Prince of Makamura, I don't like.
I'm
him.
out on Prince.
Yeah, no. Jamie Collins is old, but he's still available as an outside linebacker. You remember him? Was with the Patriots. Got traded to the Browns, and then the Patriots picked him up again after they cut him.
A new stud. Yeah.
Right. I mean, there are a lot. Needless to say, there's a lot of linebackers.
I don't know what their plan is at linebacker.
Well, if
you got to get one of these corners.
There's a ton of linebackers available too, though. That's the thing.
I like Littleton. Yeah, but is Jamie Collins, is that a fit here?
He's 30 years old. I would try to get a little younger. I think the Eagles.
I mean, he's always plays in a 3-4. Jamie Collins.
The other thing though with the Eagles is I really do think that they need to get younger and more athletic defensively.
You're preaching to the choir.
I mean, and again,
I want big.
I just because I don't like the Eagles doesn't mean I'm not going to be truthful what I think that they need.
I'm looking for big,
but,
big turnover this offseason from the Eagles.
I
am.
I think
enough's enough. You won the Super Bowl in 2017, but I mean,
yeah, you have to.
Fact of the matter is that those guys from 2017, I don't know how many of them can help you win in 2020.
They may not have enough gas in the tank.
Bradham's gone. I don't know what's going to happen with Malcolm Jenkins. I think you got to bring him back. I'm looking at Littleton and maybe Jones, but you need an edge rusher too.
Which brings me to the
clock. The clock is ticking for Howie. Howie needs to get to work, and Howie needs to get to work quick. He needs to have a good draft. They're going to have 10 picks after the compensatory picks, it looks like. I think maybe has to get 4 starters out of this draft. You got to sign a receiver. You can't let what happened to Carson Wentz last year happen again in terms of receivers. You got to get a couple receivers in here that can run routes and catch the ball. And you're going to have a whole new secondary. You have a whole new linebacking core. It'll be an interesting offseason. We got to take our break. Sports Hounds, A2D Radio. We'll be back right after this. Talk some baseball, some Yankees, some Phillies. We'll get to some hockey as well. Sports Hounds will be back right after this. Welcome back, Monday night, Real Talk Studios. Here for about another 45 minutes, talking sports. Talked about NFL offseason, Eagles, Giants, NFC East, Tom Brady. Know you had another one you wanted to talk about real quick before we get into some Yankees,
Yes.
Phillies, baseball
One other player who is a very significant player who's we failed to mention. I just wanted to get it out. Was Jadeveon Clowney. I'm out. He's a free agent. He can be a.
You paying him $10 million a year, Jadeveon Clowney?
Maybe.
He doesn't try his best. He doesn't try his best on every play.
I get that.
He has serious motor issues. When you're going to have a young team like the Giants are going to have, I don't think that's a great mix. And I think the Eagles have better resources. They should use their resources better than to sign Jadeveon Clowney for a bunch of money.
He is the
when he's engaged and focused on the football game,
he is rated as the top defensive player available as far as free agency
it's all talent.
goes.
When he's engaged, he makes impact plays on the game.
Oh, he absolutely does.
So, I just don't. I'd be nervous giving him $10 million a year.
The problem with Jadeveon Clowney, and I think I think you're right about that. The problem with him, I think, is that you need to have a good team to get him. I think if you have a bad team and you're trying to get good, I don't know if he's the guy you want.
No, he wants to get. And he's the type of guy who's going to want to go into a situation that's ready to go, ready to win.
You would think so.
I just see that as just a front runner. Like, he just strikes me as a front runner like that. I don't think he's going to go to the Giants to
He sent some signals that he wouldn't mind playing in New York, but that might be
the allure
Yeah.
of New York, and I get that, and I'd definitely rather play for the Giants than the Jets.
Yeah, well, the Jets. I don't think
stink.
The Jets don't have the money to spend right now. They kind of had their chance last year and they screwed it up. They were the team last year that had all the cap space and all the draft picks, and
who knows
didn't
how
take
their
full
season.
advantage.
Also, Darnold missing those games early really buried him.
Yeah, and losing the guy from the Colts, the middle linebacker, that hurt him too. Who was that guy? Remember the Jets signed a big time player from the Colts last year?
The Ravens, Mosley.
The Ravens, yeah, Mosley. Yeah, that was
he missed basically the whole season.
Yeah, with the groin pull. That was a big loss for them.
All right, let's move on to some baseball. Spring is in the air. 60 degrees here today in the Northeast. But, Brad, it's like deja vu. It's like Groundhog Day with these New York Yankees. They're dropping like flies. Severino is out. Stanton is out. Nobody knows what's going on with Judge.
Yeah, they're keeping
Paxton
it a pretty good
out.
secret. Judge, as far as Judge is concerned,
Herman is suspended.
Herman's suspended. Herman's going to be back. I'll address each guy. Herman's going to be back. He's suspended for another 61 games. So you figure he'll be back end of May, beginning of June. Paxton is looking like the very beginning of May. He's ahead of schedule. He's throwing, looking good there. Right now at Stanton, they're saying probably not till maybe a week after opening day. The problem with Stanton is every time he does rehab, he seems to injure himself in another way. So hopefully that won't happen, and hopefully they'll just make him be the DH. That would really help if he's just DH. From all accounts I'm hearing, Miguel Andujar has played pretty well in the outfield, playing left field. So watch out. He could end up being your left fielder. Because with that bat, Yankees can find a place to put him where he won't kill them defensively. That bat is going to be mighty handy. He's having an excellent spring, and, he was a real good hitter his rookie year. He got screwed out of being Rookie of the Year, but he can hit the ball. He's looking good so far. Severino, he's done. He's out this year. Probably won't see him again until June or July of next season. Who knows with Judge? His MRIs were clear. I know they were running a series of tests today. Haven't heard anything yet.
But what's going on? What's going on? Is it a medical staff problem? Is it just they're fragile? What's going on? Because they're going to get they're going to get pushed hard by Tampa this year.
It seems.
I love what Tampa's done. They have a new look team every year. Yankees are going to have their hands full in the East if they're not at full strength. It's going to be a lot
Well,
closer than.
But they're so deep offensively, and they do have a lot of pitching, and they have a great bullpen. I mean, even with the pitching staff the way it is right now, where you have Cole, Tanaka, Happ, and Montgomery, and whoever.
Montgomery,
be
they
the
said,
fifth.
looks great.
Yeah, so far. Well, yeah, he's coming back from Tommy John. He pitched at the end of last season. They let him start a couple of games just so that he knew he could do it. He's one of those guys. He's got big talent. He just needs to stay healthy and pitch the whole year. I think he's going to be fine. I don't think the Yankees are going to have any problem. The key with the Yankees is to be healthy when the playoffs start. You know they're going to make the playoffs. Most likely they'll win the division. I can't see them not with that lineup. Even if they're missing guys, they're so deep and they've got so many different options. Don't see how it's going to be a problem. I just don't. And if you take a look at their bullpen and all their top prospects. All their top prospects are pitchers. Their bullpen is deep. They've got some, as you know, they've got good starting pitching. They'll have more guys coming back as the season goes. Paxton and Herman. So Happ will be the fifth pitcher by June. Happ will be the number 5.
And Jordan Montgomery's look great.
Yeah, I mean it'll be they're deep enough that they can withstand this stuff. Mostly because they can hit the ball, and whether they have Stanton or not, they're still an excellent offensive team.
All right, let's say Judge and Stanton aren't available for opening day.
They still have a pretty damn good lineup.
I understand. I want to get your thoughts on what it could look like.
Oh, what the lineup would look like?
I want to get in my head how potent they're going to be without those two guys, because those are two huge.
They would
guys.
probably have if I was making up the lineup, you'd have Andahar in left, Gardner in center, most likely Tauchman. Well, actually, yeah, Tauchman and Frazier in right. You could platoon either one of them. First base, Voit. Second base, DJ LeMahieu. Shortstop is going to be Gleyber Torres. Third base, Urshela. Catcher
You still have Sanchez.
is Sanchez. So, I mean, they're fine. They're going to score plenty of runs. Not going to be a problem. I mean,
It looks a lot better with Judge and Stanton in there.
well, of course it does. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, you never know. Judge could be playing opening day. I mean, the hitters only need a couple of weeks. It's the pitchers that need the time to get ready.
Yeah, that's why I look at Montgomery, and he's a guy that
Montgomery
I look at
yeah. The pitchers need more time because
I think he might even be the 3 guy, maybe even over Happ.
Happ's having a pretty good having a pretty good spring so far. So we'll see. His velocity is up a tick this year from last year. So we'll see what happens. I'm not really that worried about it right now.
And then the Yankees, their bullpen is probably the best in baseball.
Their bullpen's really deep, and
You have Chapman.
again, they've got young arms in the farm system that can help supplement the
Chapman, Britton, Ottavino. That's pretty good.
Chad Green,
Chad Green is pretty good.
Tommy Canely.
Canely is good.
Yeah. Plus they can bring up Loaziga, who throws 96 miles an hour, who's a starting pitcher who they can put in the bullpen. He actually looked good in the bullpen. He did not look good as a starting pitcher last year. So we'll see. But they've got enough arms, and they also open up again. I think they play the Orioles a lot at the beginning of the season, which, as you know, they'll get their 17
they dominated
out of 19.
them last year.
Yeah. So it really shouldn't be an issue. They're not playing a team like the Astros until September. So that'll be when they need to have their healthy players.
Is that in
New York? Well, they don't come to New York till
What do they do?
September.
One series with the Astros?
One series at home and one on the road.
Okay.
I don't know when they're in Houston. I know they come to Yankee Stadium the 21st, which is when I'm going, the 22nd and the 23rd.
Of September?
Yes.
Wow, so that's really late.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, Houston is running into some issues. I mean, Verlander is having some problems with his shoulder. Isn't that too bad?
Well, I know you're
37-year-old player, a 37-year-old pitcher who you're depending on.
They're not getting anybody to feel bad for him.
Oh no,
they're
getting
a lot. They've made their bed and they got to sleep in it.
Yep.
I actually think they're going to score a lot of runs.
Well,
but
yeah.
I don't know about their pitching this year at all.
They'll devise another way to cheat, so they'll be scoring runs. And interesting their fan. I've heard how their fan base is behaving. That everybody, Major League Baseball, all the teams in Major League Baseball are acting like a bunch of big crybabies. That's their take. And I got to tell you, you guys.
What are they supposed to? What should their take be?
Their take should be, I'm embarrassed, but they won the championship, so
Suck it. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to get over it. It is embarrassing though. They should be a little bit more humble instead of saying, "Oh, you guys."
They really are doubling down. I kind of admire how they're just doubling down on this and just saying,
"Yeah, but we
don't care, and we're just going to bark our mouths all the way."
You know what's going to happen? Altuve is going to get a spike in the face. He's going to get hit in the ribs.
That's fine. I don't want to hear him crying about it when he gets a spike in the face.
Oh, he'll be starting a fight.
Oh, that's fine.
He'll be starting a fight. I just can't wait to see Judge slide into second base and knock that son of a bitch into left field.
Know what Altuve should do? He should spike him right back.
He's going to spike Judge? Judge would pick him up and throw him into the upper deck.
Well, that's fine. But they can't allow themselves to get bullied this year.
Well, they might be. They might. Well, no, you can't. Listen, no team can allow themselves to get bullied.
If I was the Astros, I would just play like the dirtiest, rottenest, most scumbag team in the history of baseball this year.
Honestly,
get under everybody's skin because, I mean, if you get under these pitchers' skins and they groove fastballs to that lineup because their head's all out of whack or they hang these breaking balls.
What happens if they hit you square in the ribs or they hit you square in the back?
You're gonna have to wear it and go to first base.
You're not going to be able to play if you get hurt.
I mean, that's one way to look at it.
That's the problem. I mean, look, when they're on the road, they're gonna need guards.
I mean,
Altuve,
Springer, Brantley,
Bregman, they are loaded.
They don't strike me as soft players, and I think they have to know.
Well, I think Altuve and Bregman are soft players because they're big cheaters.
I mean, okay.
Let me ask you a question. In 2017, what was Altuve's batting average in Yankee Stadium? It was 0.40. And in Houston, in the playoffs, it was over 400. So, you know what? Don't tell me
he does play 80 games, over 80 games a year, including playoffs
Don't tell me that knowing what pitches were coming didn't have a lot to do with it. You know,
how much does it?
Do you hear what Vladimir Guerrero Jr. said?
No. What did he have to say?
He said that if he knew what pitches were coming, he would hit 500.
He's probably right. That guy's a freak.
Yeah. But, you know, most of these guys are guess hitters.
Who do you think wins more games this year, the Blue Jays or the Red Sox?
Oh, boy. If anything's wrong with Sale and he starts missing time.
Sale looks like a cancer patient.
Yeah, what is up with that?
He looks like he
looks sick.
He looks diseased.
Yeah, he really looks
he looks like he's about 100 pounds.
Yeah, he looks
I
emaciated.
don't know how you're going to get through I don't know how you get through a 162-game season looking as frail as he does. I mean, he's
always getting injured. That's another thing.
Maybe
with
he's
him.
got a new plan. I have no idea.
Maybe he was on a new diet or something. Boy, oh boy.
He needs
somebody needs to feed that boy.
Number one from McDonald's and fast. Chris Sale looks terrible.
Look, Eduardo Rodriguez.
He's a stud.
He's real good. He's the real deal. I think Evaldi will bounce back. So I mean, if you're counting on Sale, I would guess you have to count on Sale. That's three decent pitchers. I just don't like the Blue Jays pitching staff, although they did add Ryu, so that should probably help.
You got Ryu. You got Chase Anderson coming over from the Brewers.
Yeah, but he's not good. Chase Anderson in the American League. Holy crap!
And you have Tanner Roark coming in.
That's
Ryu and Roark should give you innings. Look,
Ryu is good. I'll give you Ryu, but I don't know about the other two guys. I think the other two guys in the American League.
I mean, Matt Schumacher, he's hurt.
Yeah, but you know what? When is he gonna be able to pitch again?
Well, he tore his ACL in April of he should be ready.
ACL? He should be ready to play.
He's probably pitching right now.
Yeah.
Here it is. He fanned 5 over 2 2/3 innings in his spring debut on Monday.
Yeah, Matt. He's a solid pitcher. I mean, okay, so him and Ryu, and then those guys are 3 and 4. Yeah, they might give the Red Sox a run for their money.
Check out their bullpen here. Kenny Giles is at the back end.
Yeah, he's okay.
Well, they have a big prospect coming in, Nate Pearson.
Pitcher?
He's a beast.
he a pitcher or a hitter?
The top 10 prospect guy. I don't know if he's going to play.
Is he a pitcher or a hitter?
Yeah, he's a pitcher.
That's what they need. You know what? You might be right. They might give Boston a run for their money, but Boston still can hit. I mean, even without Mookie Betts, they
Look
still
at
have
this
enough
lineup
guys
for
to hit.
Toronto. Bo Bichette, stud. Kevin Biggio, stud. Lourdes Gurriel. Really good season last year.
He was up and down last year, but he did finish on a high note. Guerrero is going to be one of the top players in the game.
Certainly looks like that. Looks like he's going to be a 300.
Yeah, he's going to be a big time player.
Close to definitely 900, neighborhood of 900 OPS. Travis Shaw comes over to play first base. Randall Gritchett's been there.
Randall Gritchett is a Yankee killer. He doesn't seem to hit anybody else, but when he sees the Yankees, he becomes Babe Ruth.
Yeah, he never gets on base, and
he's not good.
Home run or base. No, he's not that great.
No,
but whatever.
But yeah, if he bats 6th or 7th, that's
and then
fine.
Derek Fisher, I don't know who that is.
He used to play for the Astros, the outfielder.
I mean, he only hit 220 last year, and he knew all the pitches, so he can't be that good.
Good point.
And then Reese McGuire slated to be their catcher. I have no idea who that is.
He's probably a top prospect, I would bet. But, yeah, you know what? The Blue Jays, I think if the Blue Jays finish at 500 this year, I think that would be pretty good. Did they finish at 500 last year, or they were?
I think they were below. They're projected to be 76 and 86.
This year?
I guess that's about right by RotoChamp.
I think they'll be a little better.
We got the
than that.
MLB Roundtable show, too, coming up. Frank, did we nail down a date for the Roundtable show for MLB? I forget. I think we settled on 21st, maybe.
As of right now, it is the 21st, but it might get moved a week later. I don't know why.
Whatever.
Let me find it.
We're going to be doing an MLB Roundtable show on a Saturday afternoon, and everyone should watch.
Let's see. MLB.
Who is going to be at the round table?
Well, I'll be there unless something unforeseen happens. You can call. You be there if you want to come. I don't know what your work schedule is.
Oh, it's a Saturday?
Yeah.
I can't do it. I work Saturday.
Probably going to be in the
They
afternoon.
might move it another week because of the March Madness games. I don't know of the exact date.
We should make it as close to the season as possible.
Yeah.
So, are you still sold that the Yankees are the favorites in the American League?
Absolutely. As I said, I don't think the injuries mean anything at the beginning of the season. I think if these guys are hurt in the playoffs, that might be a different story. But if they're missing a couple of weeks in in April, I don't think that's going to matter.
How many American League East teams make the playoffs?
2.
So you get Tampa,
Yankees and Tampa.
I mean, Tampa looks really good. Really good. Lau, Meadows, Diaz, Choi, Martinez, Renfroe, and I got to assume that
that's not a bad offense. I mean, it's not. They're not. Their offense isn't as good as the Yankees.
Well, they have Morton, Snell, Glasnow, Chirinos.
It's not bad. Not bad. Although Snell.
Who do you think's better? I like the A's a lot.
Yeah, I like the A's too. You and I have had this conversation about Oakland. I fully believe Oakland's going to be in the playoffs again this year. Whether they're the wild card or the division winner, I think they could win the division. Especially,
I think they're going to win the division.
Especially if Verlander is not able to make his 32, 33 starts this year, and I think that's going to be a problem. He's 37. He's already his shoulder's already barking.
I mean, RotoChamps has the Astros at 98 and 64 projected.
What are they projecting?
That's absurd.
Oakland's?
85 and 77.
Oh, they're going to be better than that.
I think they'll win 90 games.
85 wins when Manaea's going to be back. They won. How many games did they win last year? 97 without Manaea, and Frankie Montes is going to be back.
Fires, Manaea, Montez, Luzardo, and Puck.
Well, I like Fires if he's your number 3. Montez as your number 2 and Manaea as your number 1. I think that's a pretty damn good rotation.
And then Luzardo is he's a really good prospect that's finally going to be here.
Okay, well, we'll see about him, but I'm I'm just looking at the top 3. Okay, that is a pretty good staff.
I think they're gonna score runs.
Minaya can shut anybody down on any given day, as you know.
He's good.
Montes is very good too.
Montez was a stud last year before he got hurt. Or he didn't get hurt. He got suspended.
No, he got popped for steroids.
But look at their lineup: Semyon Lorano, Chapman Olsen, Canha, Chris Davis. That's your top 6. That's really good.
Yeah. Listen. That's the one team that, as a Yankee fan, that's beaten the hell out of us the last couple of years. For whatever reason, that team has owned us.
Great closer, Liam Hendricks, the Aussie. Petit's a good setup guy.
They've always been a good bullpen team. Their starting pitching has been the problem, but their starting pitching is a lot better now. I mean, Oakland is a very dangerous team. If the over/under is 85 in Atlantic City, boy, I may have to run over there and drop a few bucks because I do believe that Oakland's better than
85.
that.
I'm not in on the Angels at all.
No, I don't like the Angels. They have no pitching. I'm sorry. If you think Dylan Bundy and Julio Tavares, Julio, what else is his name?
Julio Teheran.
Julio
terrible.
Teheran. He's not good.
I mean, they have Trout, Rendon, Ohtani, Upton in the middle of their order.
Yeah, they can hit, but they're going to give it all back. You know these teams that are top heavy with their batting order, with no pitching, they never do well.
So you're not an Andrew Haney or Dylan Bundy guy?
No.
And they don't have much of a bullpen.
No. Hansel Robles, you think he's going to do that again?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Ty Buttery.
I don't see it happening again.
Bedrosian.
Oh, Cam Bedrosian?
Yeah.
He's inconsistent. Who the heck knows with him? I'm not all there with the Angels. It'll help to get Ohtani on the mound. That's for sure.
I think the team that nobody's talking about in the American League that could make some noise is the Indians. I think I want to pick the White Sox so bad, but
I still don't think their pitching is quite ready yet. I think they're a year away.
They're a year away.
I agree.
I agree with that.
I agree.
Even though I like a lot of especially their young position players.
They're gonna hit. I think they're a little bit behind with their pitching. I think I could see them as an 84, 85 win type team in that general area. I just can't see them winning more than that. The Indians, they're hard to figure. I mean,
I like Domingo Santana coming over. I like addition of Cesar Hernandez for them a lot.
Yeah, but it's not the offense that concerns me with the Indians. First of all, their outfield is horrendous.
Well, I mean, they got Oscar Mercado. He's going to play a full season. He's going to get a chance. Domingo Santana is a guy who the Brewers just never found the spot for him. He's a good player.
We'll see. The last Brewer the last Brewer who was a good player that got moved was awful last year. The first baseman.
Thames?
Not Thames. The other guy, the guy he's on Tampa Bay now.
Oh, Aguilar.
Aguilar, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have a good season at all last year.
He was terrible. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Guys from the Brewers, when they go to the American League, I just don't know about. I just don't know about him at all.
But you have Bieber
and
Clevenger.
Clevenger.
I don't know if he's going to be.
Oh, he'll be back by the middle of April.
Yeah,
they're saying he's going to be. They're saying he's going to be back by the middle of April. I wouldn't worry about him. Bieber and Clevenger. I mean, if you're an Indian fan, I just wish they hadn't traded Trevor Bauer. I mean, as an American League fan, I'm glad to not have to face him because he just killed the Yankees. Trevor Bauer.
I don't think the Indians are going to make the playoffs, but I think that they're going to just miss.
Yeah, I mean, unless Jose Ramirez has a Triple Crown type year, which he's certainly capable.
Well, he needs to. He was horrible for the majority of last season.
He woke up in July and August, though.
He did. He played well down the stretch.
First 3 months of the season, he didn't show up at all.
I mean, he
was hitting like 205 in June, in the middle of June.
He was horrible. Lindor
is great.
Lindor is great. Carlos Santana, I mean, he
Carlos
produces
Santana
runs
there.
year after year in
Yeah.
the American League.
Yeah, and that on
He
that
just can't
team,
play the field.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to in Cleveland.
He might be playing first base this year.
Well, if he has to play first base, then they're going to make some errors.
I think he's an American League guy. The Phillies
is.
tried to get him, and it didn't work at all. But
for whatever reason. But keep in mind, Cleveland is a better. I mean, I know Philly is a good hitter's ballpark. Cleveland is a better hitter's ballpark than Philly, though. There's nowhere.
Right.
There's nowhere in Cleveland where it's difficult to hit a home
So
run.
who do you like?
At least you have a manly center field in Philly. Unlike
the Indians.
Unlike the Indians that have no manly dimensions anywhere.
Are you an Indians guy or a Twins guy?
Nah, I think the Twins win that division easily.
So you like Barrios, Odorizzi, Homer Bailey, Kenta Maeda,
Yes.
and Randy Dobnak, whoever
Yes.
that is.
He's the Uber driver.
He's an Uber driver. Now he pitches for the Twins.
Yeah. Don't you remember last year when they faced the Yankees on that Saturday afternoon and the fans were chanting Uber driver at him?
No.
And they scored 8 runs in the first 2 innings against him? And when
Lucky
he left the
didn't.
field, they were chanting Uber driver.
And then they have Michael Pineda kind of laying in the weeds there.
Yeah, he only had the worst ERA in the league last year, but that's okay. I would be.
They gave him $10 million a year.
I know they did.
And they have Devin Smeltzer, who's
Yeah,
a
they thought
prospect.
they
have Rich Hill as well,
Yes, but Rich Hill's always hurt.
but he strikes out a lot of guys when he does pitch.
Yeah, he does. He does. But you know what? He's left-handed, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay, so
Rich Hill's a lefty.
Okay,
correct.
so are you going to pitch him against the Yankees in a big spot?
No, you
Yankee
need
Stadium?
Barrios. You need Barrios against a lineup like the Yankees, or else you're
Barrios gets
screwed.
killed by the Yankees, and so does Odorizzi. See, that's why the Twins can't beat the Yankees, because those pitchers don't get the Yankees out.
I think Cleveland might run at him this year. I'm starting to like Cleveland more and more.
Still don't like their outfield. I mean, I don't understand why they didn't just bring back Puig. I mean,
Nobody has Puig right now. They can still do that.
I know. I mean, why? I don't get it. What is going on that nobody is Puig that big of a pain in the ass?
I guess he is.
I mean, he must.
He's a total lightning rod. He's like a
understand
better
that.
version of Odubel Herrera. Odubel Herrera would go on these legendary streaks where he would be 6 weeks, he'd be the MVP of the league. Then the next 6 weeks, he'd look like he belonged in single A. That's what Puig is. When he's hot, he can really carry it, but when he's not, he's bad and he's a jerk off. So, I mean, I guess teams are scared to sign him.
I mean,
If
what do they use Madison Bumgarner as a reference or something?
Yeah, right.
What do they do?
boy.
Say, hey Madison, can we sign
But,
Puig? No.
If you're like the Pirates or the Marlins or the Royals or
Yeah,
just
why not?
some ass team that just wants to create a little bit of excitement before the season, why not sign Puig? Sign him to a 1-year year. Hopefully he has a good first half and you can trade him and get some.
Get a couple of prospects
young
for him,
guys
and you
for him.
might be able to do that. I'm just shocked that nobody's picked him up yet.
I am too.
I mean, listen, if Judge doesn't, if Judge is going to be out for any length of time,
Put him on the Skanks.
put him in right field.
That'd be something.
Put him in right field. Listen, if Judge is out for a while, you could always put him in right field until he comes back.
All right, let's get into some Phillies. Big news out of Phillies camp this week is that Andrew McCutchen is not going to be ready for opening day.
Oh boy.
This is not good because I don't know what you do. I don't know who your third starting outfielder is. I don't want to put Kingery out there again.
Who are the
So
choices?
You have Bryce in right.
Okay, well that's fine.
You have
No problem there.
I like Hazley a lot in center, even if he's just
He
a
was
glove.
the promising
He's
player.
the 7th pick in the draft. He's an All-American out of Virginia. He's got drafted, I think, in
But maybe, you know what,
2016.
You could start with
Maybe 2017. He's ready to go. You got to give him a spot to play every day.
let him play and maybe he'll hit. Or maybe,
I think he's an excellent fielder.
I mean, maybe he'll catch some lightning in the bottle and hit the ball a little bit to get out of the gate.
Then I don't know. You got Jay Bruce on the team. I don't want to put Kingery out there.
Well, you could put Bruce in left field.
And then the other problem that comes with McCutchen missing time is they have nobody to hit leadoff. I don't think Segura gets on base enough. I don't feel comfortable with him in my leadoff speed, but it might be him, by default. I don't know what you do at leadoff. I really don't.
Who's playing second base for them now?
Well, either Kingery or Segura. One will play third, one will play second.
Why don't you let Kingery lead off?
Kingery lead off?
He can hit, right?
He can hit.
He probably doesn't walk a lot, but you know what? I mean, is he a good hitter? Yeah. Wade Boggs used to lead off.
See,
I mean, I know he walked a lot, but he had no speed.
I'm reluctant to say this because I crushed the Phillies last year because they put Rhys Hoskins at leadoff, and it was a disaster. And it wasn't.
I don't like putting your big slugger as leadoff.
No.
Batting second, if you have a real good guy to bat third, maybe. But
that's where I was about to go. What if you just go full American League lineup and put Harper first?
First?
Yeah.
I bat him second.
But who else is going to be able to bat leadoff? Hazley's not ready to bat leadoff. I don't like Kingery up there. I don't like Segura up there. Harper's going to get on base. He draws walks. And I think you have enough to
Who's batting ninth?
The
pitcher, right?
If I were going to have Harper at leadoff, I would put the pitcher eighth.
Okay, if you're doing that, yes.
So I would bat Hazley ninth.
Problem is, you're going to have Harper up, and there's not going to be a lot of guys on base. I would rather bat him second.
Well,
just because you're more likely to have guys
I get
on
that.
base. I would put your 5 best hitters up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Let me see.
Right
Here,
in a row,
and not
worry about it.
Let's just go. Because I want to get crazy here. First, second. So, and I'm only even considering this because Harper gets on base and walks at such a.
You can't put Didi Gregorius at leadoff because
he doesn't
he
get
never
on base
walks.
enough. He doesn't walk.
He
and
never
doesn't get on
walks.
base enough. I'll put Didi fourth. I'll put Hoskins fifth.
See, how about Hoskins third?
No, because I got JT third.
Okay, all
He's
right.
awesome.
As long as you have a right-handed hitter in the middle.
And then I'll go Segura second. And who's left?
Who's batting leadoff? Harper?
Yeah.
Hoskins.
Let me just see how this looks for the sake of our. We'll go Kingery, I guess Bruce. Eighth, we'll go pitcher. Ninth, Hazley. I don't hate that lineup at all. Harper, Segura, Realmuto, Gregorius, Hoskins, Kingery. I guess you put Jay Bruce in left. Pitcher eighth, Hazley ninth.
It's not bad.
I don't know what else you do. I don't know how you solve the leadoff problem.
Yeah, I just don't like Harper batting leadoff.
It's not. I get it. It's non-traditional, and it's not going to fly. We're just talking about it here for fun.
No, I know. I understand.
And I'm just playing with it.
I would rather see somebody.
But
somebody
Harper
else
would
bat
be
in
a
front
better
of Harper.
leadoff hitter than Hoskins would be.
Well, who's your highest average hitter on the team besides Harper?
I mean, Segura. Everyone.
Then Segura should be leading off. Then
Segura still hit 286.
Then let him
last
lead
year.
off. Let him lead off. I mean, if he may not walk, but nobody on your team really walks a lot except Harper. Maybe Hoskins, but
Hoskins did walk a lot before jackass Gabe Kapler got a hold of him.
Well, now that he's out,
I'm expecting big things out of Rhys Hoskins this year. 85 combined homers between Harper and Hoskins. That's my bold prediction for the Phillies.
I would if
I think
I
they're going
was
to bash
making,
their way to 90 wins.
if
91 wins, I have them at.
I would go Segura first, Harper second, Hoskins third, Didi fourth, I'm trying to remember who. Oh, Real Muto fifth. And
See,
who's
I'd rather
left. Who's left? Who did I-
Kingery,
Kingery sixth.
whoever's playing left field, and Hazley in center.
Bruce, pitcher Hazley.
I mean, I don't even know who else you have besides Bruce to throw in there. But you know who's really tearing up Phillies camp? Career American League guy?
Who?
Logan Forsythe.
I remember.
He's
him.
having a fantastic spring. But then you're getting into putting Kingery or Hazley in left field, and someone else.
No, you can't do that.
We just got done talking about how Kingery is going to play one position the entire year, and it was going to work out better.
You can't do that. Listen, one thing that you have to remember: Joe Girardi likes to use his whole roster, so the guys he'll figure it out.
Maybe Logan Forsythe can play left field.
He might if he can.
Let me see how they look. Roto Chance with a ridiculous 79 win projection for the Phillies. That's absurd.
They're going to win more than 79 games.
Kutchin's not going to be ready on the old bench here. Jay Bruce, Josh Harrison.
Well, he can play the infield. You could probably put him in the outfield too.
Roman Quinn projected to be on the team. Wolf.
I forgot about Roman Quinn. Roman Quinn is good, right? He's not that bad.
He always gets hurt.
Oh, okay.
A stiff wind blows in the outfield, and he's out for a week.
Oh, so he's like Ellsbury.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And all he can do is run. He might as well go to the batter's box with a stick from right outside the Real Talk studios. Go find him the biggest stick
so he can
in the Real Talk yard outside. Give that to Roman Quinn because he might be a better hitter with that stick than he is a Louisville Slugger.
Well, maybe he could bunt his way on.
That's what he always tries to do, but everyone has it all figured out. They all cheat up. I mean, he covers a lot of ground in the outfield. He's a defensive replacement guy in the.
So you put him in for Bruce late in the game.
Yeah, something like that.
He can be Bruce's caddy.
Yeah, Phil Gosling.
Don't know who
that is. Maybe it's Ryan Gosling's brother. I don't know. Logan Forsythe. I mean,
Logan Forsythe has always been a good player off the bench.
And then Andrew Knapp somehow still on the team.
Isn't he a catcher?
I mean, maybe another option they could do is they could bring up Bohm and play Bohm at third and tell Kingery, yo, you're beat. We wanted to play in the infield, but it's not working out. You got to play left.
Oh, okay.
You got to play left.
Can he play left?
He played everywhere. He played center last year and wasn't that
center,
bad.
Well, if he could play center, he can play
I think
left.
you got. I just want to see Hazley in center field every day. I want to see what he's got.
Most baseball players can play left field because that's the one position that you can hide against.
Andahar can do it,
Andujar's
not
been
the
playing
fleetest,
left.
not the fleetest of foot.
He's not slow. Andujar's not a slow runner. That's not his issue. His issue is that his arm isn't accurate. I mean, because he can catch the ball as far as third base. It's his throwing that's always the problem. That's why if they put him in the outfield, all he has to do is throw the ball into second base.
Because Baum is ready. He's 23 years old, top 10 pick. I think he's a top 10 pick. He's a first-round pick for sure.
Okay, well, that's good enough.
Tore up the minors last year. It's time to get this kid in the mix.
Well,
I'm not trying to have another Howard or Utley where they're 25 years old before they come up.
I think with Joe Girardi, if the guy can, Joe likes guys who can hit. So if they hit, they'll play. He'll find a place to put them.
Alec Baum went 2 for 3 in the Phillies split squad defeated the Pirates 6-2. There's plenty of talk about Baum making an impact this year, even though he's yet to play above Double-A. He hit 305, 378, and he tore up the Arizona Farley, hitting 361.
Well, then they need to give him a shot. If he's having a good listen, if it's
you
still
kind of
early,
have to. You got to put Kingery in left and Baum at third.
It's still early in spring training.
It would be fucking way easier if they just pulled the trigger and traded for Chris Bryant, but this jackass is so scared to go over the fucking luxury tax. It's so annoying.
Well, that's an owner thing.
I mean, he wants to bark his mouth. He has stupid money. Go get me Chris Bryant. You have but 2 years. 2 years of control. Who would you rather have? Because then you want to disrupt. You get Chris Bryant on the team. You don't have to disrupt. You don't have to disrupt Kingery at all. You can just put him at second or third, whichever one you want. Keep him there the whole season, and just put Bryant in left field. That's what a win now team. That's what a team trying to grab the baseball season by the balls before it even starts would do.
Well, you already spent all that money on Wheeler, so why not? No, I don't get it. I don't get that at all.
I think they're going to be.
puzzling
I
to me.
think they have enough pitching.
You know,
I
the
said
Phillies?
this. I said this last year, and I was wrong.
You know what?
A lot of people were wrong.
Velasquez and Nick, what's his name?
Nick Pivetta.
Nick Pivetta. They always seem to disappoint. Nick Pivetta has really good stuff.
Well, look,
I don't get it with him.
I have my eggs. I have my eggs in the Zach Eflin basket this year.
Okay, so
I think he's
going to
be number 4. I mean, whatever.
He'll be the number 4. I mean,
I don't know. I think Arrieta is going to start the third game of the season.
Yeah, he'll
but
be
I don't
number
think Arrieta is going to be the third best pitcher on the rotation this year. I think Zach Eflin would be. And then I don't even know. I'm putting Vince Velasquez in the pen, and I'm throwing him right in the deep end.
You've been asking them to do that for years.
5 years, 6 years, 7 years,
since
decade.
we were on WNJC. You've been
because
asking
it's
for
clear
that
as
to
day
happen.
that his skill set, he has elite bullpen stuff.
And you know what? If Joe's not getting it from the bullpen, guess what? That's where he'll be.
It's like you have Morgan, who I like. You have
Adam
Sir
Morgan,
Anthony.
He's not bad. Sir Anthony isn't bad either.
You have Sir Anthony, who I like. I would put Pivetta in the rotation and put Velasquez in the bullpen, and I would just have him be the setup guy for Neres from Jump Street. Because Vince Velasquez can't do it as a start.
What are they saying about David Robertson? When are they expecting to see him back?
I don't know. Nowhere.
Nothing, huh? He's not pitching right now.
No, I mean he got Tommy John surgery.
Oh, yeah, Tommy John. Oh, jeez.
So he might miss the whole. He's probably gonna miss the whole season. June-ish, he got Tommy John.
So you may get him back in September.
I think it's just a
keep
lost
in mind.
cause.
I mean, keep in mind if he's a reliever, he's only has to pitch an inning.
Ranger Suarez has looked good this spring. Francisco Liriano, at least there's a familiarity that I've heard of him before. Been around. I know he's not good anymore. I know he's not good anymore.
He's more of a left-handed specialist.
Cole Irvin, I don't think he's that great. A lot of people think he's great because he did good at Lehigh Valley. I mean, I'm not expecting much from him. Arano's interesting. He gave him some decent innings last year. Suarez is a lefty. Tommy Hunter stinks. Here, let me see what they're going to say about David Robertson. You're in the 60-day. He might be ready by the middle of the season.
Yeah, when you're a relief pitcher, you're only pitching an inning.
I mean, that could be a big shot in the arm.
Inning. You only have to pitch one inning when you're a relief pitcher.
Well, yeah, now you have to pitch at least 3 batters because of
all right. So
your
he has
boy
to pitch,
Rob Manfred.
So he has to. Yeah. So he has to pitch. Be able to throw 30 pitches.
That could be a shot in the arm.
Yeah, he probably
the
just
old
won't
Phils
be able.
There.
He just won't be able. He probably won't be able to pitch back-to-back nights.
Look,
but
I've been very opinionated about the Phillies this year. I really like what they're doing. I think they're on the right track. I think they're going to win 91 games. I think they're going to win the East. I think the fans of Philadelphia are really underestimating the Joe Girardi factor and the new coaching staff factor.
And the fact
it's
that
going to make
the fact that you got a really good left-handed bat playing shortstop right now. And the fact that you got a shortstop who can play the hell out of
everyone wants
shortstop.
to tell me Atlanta. I mean, you got Acuna, Albies, and Freeman at the top. That's obviously super elite. You know, I don't think Ozuna's all that great.
He's not bad.
Good.
He's not bad. He's
good
a good
player. Then you have Dayanard at catcher, DeMargo, Dansby Swanson, Ender, and Ciarte.
That's a pretty good lineup.
That's a big drop-off, if you ask me, after the top 3 guys.
Yeah, no, it is. But who's the third baseman?
Camargo.
Oh, that's the guy. Johan Camargo?
Yeah.
He's a good hitter. He's not bad.
I mean, okay. The third baseman last year was Josh Donaldson, who
Well,
raped.
they're not going to have him this year, so.
But, I mean, Camargo's a downgrade.
He's playing for the Twins now, right?
Yes.
Donaldson?
It's a good pickup for the Twins if he stays healthy.
Yeah,
But,
that's
I
a
mean,
big if, though,
Look at
with him.
I mean, you know who the Braves' fifth starter is according to RotoChamp?
Who?
Felix Hernandez.
Ugh.
King Felix. Because
He's
Cole Hamels
he's so over the hill.
Cole Hamels, he's already hurt for him. Fultonowicz and Newcomb can't throw strikes, and you have Soroka and Fried, who are two guys that I like.
Well, they're good. Soroka is really
How is
good.
that any different than the Phillies starting rotation?
Pretty similar.
They have a little bit better bullpen, but, I mean, I think Shane Green's overrated, the Tigers guy.
He was with the Yankees. He's the one.
What's the guy?
He traded him for Gregorius,
Do I have it right? Is that who it is?
Shane Green? Shane Green used to.
Chad Green. Yeah,
No,
Shane Green.
Shane Green.
He was on the Tigers.
He was. The Yankees traded him to the Tigers in a three-way trade. The Tigers traded Robbie Ray to the Diamondbacks, and the
Yeah.
Yankees got Gregorius.
And the Tigers only got Shane Green.
Yeah, the Tigers got Shane Green.
It's a fleece job.
And the Diamondbacks.
Holy smokes.
the
Robbie Ray's one
Diamondbacks
of the best lefties in the
Yeah,
league.
and the Diamondbacks got Robbie Ray. The Yankees ended up with Didi, and they got Shane Green.
How do you miss that bad? If you're paid to evaluate players, how do you miss that bad?
I don't know, but when it's a
Was
three-way,
Shane Green supposed to be some stud starter?
he actually was a decent starter with the Yankees, a decent one. But he was one of those guys. He was the AJ Burnettish type of pitcher for the Yankees. Either he came out and pitched a 2-hit shutout, or he didn't get out of the second
bombed.
inning. Yeah, that was how he was.
I mean,
as a
this
starter.
bullpen for the Braves, it doesn't scare me at all.
Who's the rest of the guys that are in it?
We got Melanson, Shane Green, Will Smith. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good, actually.
I mean, Josh Tomlin,
He stinks.
Luke Jackson had
He
his problems
stinks.
last year. Chris Martin,
Chris Morton was good for them, right?
Darren O'Day. I mean, he's
Darren
okay.
O'Day was good.
Was good.
I don't know if he's good anymore.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. He hasn't pitched in 2
And then-
years, though, has he?
The last thing I want to check on before in the East is I think the Mets make the playoffs this year.
I think the Mets are going to win the division, but I mean, I like the Diamondbacks to be one of the.
I
One
like
of-
them
one of the
too. We
playoff
didn't
teams,
get
too.
out west in the National League. We'll have to do that some other time. But I mean, I'm looking at the Mets. All I see is balance. They have a pretty good lineup. Starting
Yes,
pitching.
they do. Pretty good.
I mean, Stroman and Wheeler. That's a wash, pretty much, right? I mean, similar players.
We'll see about Stroman, though. When he came to the Mets, he didn't pitch well. He pitched
Yeah,
great
we
in
got trade.
Toronto.
We'll see. I mean, he's got a whole offseason to settle in.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And it's
Sometimes
got to be
not that
pitching.
easy.
He's out of that American League East.
Yeah, no, he was really good last year in the American League East. He really was. So, I think you could probably call that a draw. So,
And then, I mean, you look at their bullpen. You bring Betances in.
yeah, but Diaz is getting rocked again.
Is he not having a good spring?
He's not having a good spring. His first outing, he gave up 2 runs and 3 hits, I think.
Ugh.
So he threw 98 miles an hour,
Yeah,
but
but at least you have a
you have other options
you
now.
have Familia who can close, Brad Brock who can close, Justin Wilson who I thought that was a great signing last offseason.
It was until he got hurt for 2 months.
I mean, we'll see if he can bounce back.
He pitched well. He
Can
pitched
Edwin
well
Diaz be worse than last year though?
Yeah,
He
could
can't be.
Yeah, he could.
It's impossible.
Oh, he could be.
He was so bad.
The difference is, though, that he won't be the closer for very long if he doesn't pitch
They have
well.
options now.
Yeah.
But you got Nimmo, who's already hurt. McNeil, Alonso, Cano, J.D. Davis, Conforto.
J.D. Davis is hurt again.
He's hurt again,
Yeah,
too?
he hurt his wrist.
Well, maybe we'll have to revise the old Mets pick.
Yeah,
I hate the Mets. So, I mean, and then you have Washington.
Washington's going to be good. They still have that. There's still the big three still there.
Well, if the adage is true, you're only as good as your next day starting pitcher, then the Nationals are in pretty good shape.
Well, I mean, when you're
60%
throwing,
of the games
when
are
you're
going to
throwing,
be.
when you're throwing Scherzer,
Isn't Scherzer unbelievable? You never hear anything about his shoulder being tired or anything.
no, but he did need a couple of weeks off.
Yeah, but
last
didn't he get
year.
hit in the face with the ball?
Oh yeah, that was why he needed a couple of weeks off. That's right.
You
He got
never
hit.
hear about arm trouble. You never hear about his
No.
velocity slipping. It's unbelievable.
No, he's just an animal. And between Scherzer and Strasburg and Corbin, I mean, those are three real good pitchers.
Can't argue.
And their bullpen really came around to the playoffs. That's for sure.
Tom Arnone checks in. Looking forward to getting the Astros getting hit over 200 times this year.
I wanted to just see Altuve get spiked in the face. And then I'll
NL
be
East
happy.
might be just as good as the AL East. I think the NL East might be better than the AL East. Boston's going
Possibly.
nowhere. And
Possibly. That's possible now because Boston has gone down a little bit. Top two teams, I think the Yankees and Tampa Bay are going to be better than any team in the National League East. But I do think the National League East is deeper.
I agree with you there. Anyway, that'll do it. This edition of Sports Hounds will be back next Monday night, 7 to 9 p.m. We'll see you then.